Rumors are swirling that Marjorie Harvey might expose Diddy for allegedly victimizing Lori Harvey, and it's raising eyebrows everywhere. Many have long suspected that Diddy and Lori's relationship was questionable, but Marjorie's recent claims suggest it might have been worse than anyone imagined. Diddy's history with women has always been controversial. He openly referred to Kim Porter as the love of his life, yet there were troubling stories about how he treated her and others. Things escalated during a recent trial where disturbing allegations surfaced, painting an even darker picture. Now, Marjorie is hinting that Lori could be one of the women harmed by Diddy, leaving many wondering what really happened. Let's unpack this. It's been 7 years since Lori and Diddy's relationship made headlines, and it's still shocking. Lori was only 22 at the time, while Diddy was nearly 50, a staggering age gap of almost 30 years. By the time Lori was born, Diddy was already a grown man with a 5-year-old son. When they began dating, Lori was younger than Diddy's son, Justin. The relationship raised more than a few eyebrows. But what makes it even stranger is that Diddy reportedly knew Lori for years before they got together. Diddy and Steve Harvey weren't best friends but ran in the same circles, meaning Diddy was familiar with Lori when she was still a teenager, possibly even younger. This context added an unsettling layer to their relationship. She wasn't just someone he met as an adult, she was a young girl he'd known for years, almost like family. Many speculate that this history is why their romance felt especially off. As if that weren't enough, there are whispers that Steve Harvey may have pressured Lori into dating Diddy for reasons unknown. While no one knows for sure, it's clear that this situation was messy from the start. If Marjorie does decide to reveal more details, it could shed light on a disturbing chapter that's been shrouded in mystery for too long. When Lori Harvey started dating Diddy as a grown woman, the relationship left many people uneasy. The situation was already controversial due to the nearly 30-year age gap, but it only got messier when you consider the timing. Lori began dating Diddy just a few months after his ex, Kim Porter, passed away. What made this especially uncomfortable was Lori's connection to Kim. The two were reportedly close, and Lori had publicly mourned Kim's passing on Instagram, sharing a heartfelt tribute. Having a hard time processing this one. "You were such a beautiful person inside and out. I'm so glad I told you how much I loved and missed you the last time I saw you. Your energy was truly something special, an angel on earth and now in heaven. R.I.P. Mama Kim." Yet, just months later, Lori began dating Kim's ex, Diddy. This raised eyebrows, and people started speculating about Lori's true feelings and whether there was more going on behind the scenes. The situation grew even more awkward when fans noticed Lori had quietly deleted her tribute to Kim. The internet, of course, never forgets, and many interpreted this move as Lori trying to erase her connection to Kim now that she was with Diddy. Despite the growing public unease, Lori's parents, Steve and Marjorie Harvey, didn't seem to intervene. In fact, they appeared to support the relationship, even vacationing with Lori and Diddy. Photos from the trip showed the group looking cozy, adding fuel to the fire. However, the relationship didn't last long after that vacation. Rumors suggest Marjorie may have played a role in the breakup, reportedly insisting Lori end things with Diddy. Sources claim Marjorie witnessed how Diddy treated Lori and wasn't about to let her daughter remain in such a situation. Allegedly, Diddy treated Lori Harvey just as badly as he treated his previous girlfriends. Their relationship began not long after Cassie finally broke free from Diddy, and it seemed like he was looking for a new victim. In hindsight, perhaps it was a good thing that Marjorie and Steve Harvey joined Lori and Diddy on that infamous vacation. It might have been what ultimately ended things. To understand how alarming Diddy's behavior must have been for Marjorie to intervene, it's important to consider her past. Marjorie has a history of navigating some intense situations. She was married to not one, but two men involved in serious criminal activities, and managed to walk away unscathed. Marjorie's first husband, Jim Townsend, wasn't a small-time player. He was deep in the drug trade, dealing in significant quantities of illegal substances. The scale of his operation was far from minor. When the feds caught him in 1992, he was attempting to move a staggering 40 kilos, 88 pounds, of cocaine. At the time, both the FBI and DEA had Marjorie on their radar as well. Authorities were skeptical of her claim that she was unaware of Jim's activities, even though she was heavily pregnant with their second child. However, Jim took full responsibility, reportedly striking a deal to keep Marjorie out of legal trouble. As a result, he was sentenced to life in prison, while Marjorie avoided charges. Despite her past connections to such dangerous situations, Diddy's treatment of Lori reportedly left Marjorie deeply disturbed, enough to step in and protect her daughter from further harm. Marjorie's loyalty to her first husband, Jim Townsend, lasted about 5 years before she filed for divorce while he was still behind bars. It didn't take her long to move on either. Her next relationship was with Darnell Woods, who was allegedly Jim's cousin. The twist? Darnell was also deeply involved in the drug trade. After narrowly avoiding charges the first time around, Marjorie jumped right back into a relationship with someone in the same dangerous game. This had people questioning her intentions, with many believing she was more drawn to the lifestyle than the men themselves. Predictably, history repeated itself. Darnell eventually got caught, and once again, the FBI and DEA turned their attention to Marjorie. Considering her connections to not one but two high-profile drug dealers, it's no surprise that law enforcement was suspicious, but Marjorie, ever resourceful, managed to avoid charges yet again. She worked her charm, kept her story straight, and walked away unscathed for a second time. It's remarkable when you think about it. Escaping serious legal trouble twice while being linked to two major players in the drug trade is no small feat. Marjorie's ability to navigate these situations was nothing short of masterful, showcasing a level of strategy and finesse that's hard to ignore. After everything Marjorie went through, she ended up marrying Steve Harvey, a millionaire comedian who had been in love with her for nearly 2 decades. That's not luck, that's strategy. And she didn't stop there. She had Steve legally adopt all 3 of her children, giving them his last name and effectively erasing any public connection to their biological fathers and the criminal past tied to them. This move wasn't just about love, it was a calculated rebranding of her entire family, giving them a fresh start and a clean slate. Whether you admire her determination or raise an eyebrow at her methods, there's no denying that Marjorie knows how to navigate life's challenges like a pro. So, if someone like Marjorie, a woman who's seen it all, was horrified by how Diddy allegedly treated Lori, you know it had to be something truly serious. The latest rumors suggest that Diddy may have gotten Lori pregnant and then forced her to terminate the pregnancy. Disturbingly, this wouldn't be the first time he's faced similar accusations. Given all this, it's no wonder Marjorie stepped in to get Lori out of that situation. Now, I want to hear your thoughts on all this. Drop a comment and let's talk. And don't forget to check out the next video.